What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about this Ananta game. I've been asked to talk about it, actually, from a couple different people, and I appreciate the push. Sometimes I need a good old push to find something that, honestly, I wouldn't have found. I think I would have, and I'll tell you why, okay? The main thing with this game, because I've seen people say, cover it, but I think I would have seen it anyway, and I don't know if I would have immediately covered it, but I saw the Spider-Man thing, and I saw the Uncharted thing, and I thought, what in God's name is happening here? So I want to talk about this game. It's a very, very interesting situation, and I'll see how it goes. It's a game that I would not hate to try out, whenever it comes out. But I'm waiting for like the carpet to be pulled from underneath me. Does that make sense? I think on Push Square or PlayStation Universe, one of those two, pretty sure I saw an article that was very in line with that kind of mentality. I'm not trying to steal, okay? I try to come up with my own original thoughts, making like 8,000 videos like I do. I am waiting for the moment, though, where everything goes wrong, because I guess I'm conditioned like that with these type of games. It's like, well, there's got to be something at some point in this game that's going to make me say, I know why I wasn't going to play this in the first place. But I mean, look, right now, that's very difficult. And not to be so pessimistic, because the game looks unreal. It's such a beautiful cel-shaded game. It looks beautiful. It's got a day-night cycle, so I hear. Just visually super impressive. It's got the GTA thing going on with swapping characters, and they're doing kind of randomized things in the world. It's got, when you look at the combat, you could really pick like the free flow kind of stuff. Sleeping Dogs is the one that I've seen people compare it to. Now I saw that before I saw the gameplay, the combat. So that was kind of in my head, Sleeping Dogs. I mean, Mad Max is maybe a good one. Like it's got that free flow energy, right? That like Arkham, and like you think of Spider-Man, I think that's a little bit more almost loose. This is it's heavier. It looks heavier, at least. And if you remember the Mad Max, which was the same kind of thing, right? It had that kind of shadow, like the Middle Earth stuff, but it was more heavy. It was more on like just these really, really heavy hits, and not so much of like Batman being able to get 20 feet, in one direction in like 1 second. So I like that, but it's got that going for it, right? So it's got GTA swapping. It's got kind of Mad Max Sleeping Dogs fighting. It's got Spider-Man. Now, I don't know how they can get away with this. This is something that, there's all these lawsuits and PlayStation specifically going after that Horizon-looking clone, which I feel like they have a good case. I think that game very much looks like Horizon ripped off, and the story behind the scenes there, right, is that they wanted to make a Horizon game anyway, so not to get too off track. Point being, though, you watch this character swing. I mean, it's got like the Venom arms, number one. Actually, it's very like, Venom, yeah. Prototype is another one that kind of came to mind of like just the way Alex Mercer's, arm can kind of shapeshift into that like black gooey type thing. Reminds me of that. But anyway, the swinging, and not just the swinging. The swinging is one thing. You look at like the perching anime, is that the right word? Like when you land on something and you're kind of in that like crouched position, right? It's Spider-Man. It's literally, or when he goes against the wall and it kind of transitions to a cutscene, like that is literally the Spider-Man animation of when you swing and you do a little, acrobatic spin in the air. That's literally, now, I don't know, like I don't want to make it all about, they're just stealing other things. I mean, in a way, okay, number one, they have stolen a lot. Number two, though, I mean, hey, if you can like make a really good game with like 7 really great ideas that you stole from other people, you have at it, to be honest with you, because it's free to play. So, I mean, like, I guess, what are you going to lose going in? Now, we're going to circle back to the money aspect because I want to talk about that. But you kind of like to stick to that point of, I'm saying it maybe a little, criticism-wise, but hey, if you want to do Spider-Man traversal mixed with Sleeping Dogs fighting, mixed with GTA character swapping, I mean, the open world stuff looks like a lot of fun. There's car chases going on. There's it looks like a game of like 20 different games, and it's not just these things I'm talking about, like borrowed elements from other games, but you look at like, I mean, in terms of the gameplay that I saw, it's just so many snippets, okay? Which some of that concerns me, because it's like it's so much random stuff. Yes, it looks good on the surface. I kind of want to see like just a 20-minute mission. Like, what does the game look like? Kind of, no clips. clips, no cutting all of these different, segments. What does it look like just a straight through, kind of mission? But, again, we're kind of only analyzing what we can see. It looks really fun. It looks really diverse. I do want to get to the one other borrowed element, though. There was like the initial trailer, like 7 minutes long, and then there was like a 10-minute extended thing that was new gameplay. And in that was the clip being shown around. I saw the clip of Uncharted. It is literally when you're attaching yourself to like a car, and the car is going through these streets, and you're hanging on, and you're swinging around, and you're bouncing into stuff. Now, I don't think Uncharted, it shouldn't trademark, like, you can never do holding on to car chase scenes, but at the same time, truly, I mean, once you see it, it's very hard to say, oh yeah, they didn't take that from anywhere. No, I mean, they took Spider-Man almost 1-to-1, like, to a point that I'm surprised Sony's not going after them. They took Uncharted 1-to-1, to the point that, again, I'm surprised Sony, they took 2 Sony franchises there to do stuff with. So, that was interesting, but the game just looks like a blast, okay? It looks really, really fun. I went from having no interest whatsoever because I didn't know the game existed. I think the game was announced 2 years ago. It was under a different name. It swapped names. It's being published by NetEase, I believe, and it's in development, I think, for like mobile, PC, PlayStation, I think PS4 as well as PS5. I don't know why the PS4 can't just freaking die at this point, but whatever. The game's coming out in a couple different places. I don't think there's a release. I don't even think there's a release year, to be honest, which maybe also scares me because it could just be one of these games that looks really good, and then we see it next year. Maybe it looks worse, and then maybe it comes out, 2027 or something. But I will give it a chance. I mean, at this point, now it's free to play. Now let's end this video by just quickly discussing this monetary thing. So free to play, and they talk. There was an interview done, and the interview is being translated, I think, a couple different ways. Like, nobody really knows what these people were saying, and the gotcha element, because there has to be, I mean, we talk about how there has to be a catch. Well, literally, there has to be a gotcha thing somewhere in this game. Otherwise, the game couldn't exist, in the first place, and that's kind of the sad thing with these games. Now, in the interview, they talked about that characters are not in that gotcha thing. It's an open world game. I think it's procedurally generated. I think there's like one zone now, and there's going to be a couple more like later on, but it's kind of like a procedural type thing. But the characters that you're swapping to, you earn them just by playing. Okay, those are characters that you're going to unlock as you go through the game. I'm pretty sure that's what the article said, because I think some people said that the article said there's no gotcha at all. It's a gotcha-free game. When in reality, because I saw other people say, well, I looked through the interview, and it really only seems like they were talking about characters. The characters are not locked behind a money wall or a paywall, right? That doesn't mean everything else is not locked. So that's something, cosmetics. I think you can get a house, like a decoration type thing in this game. So that is what scares me. To be honest with you, that's what stops me from playing 99 out of 100 of these games, is just, I don't know, like, you see enough of them, you know that there's a moment that the game is going to block you, and I'm not interested in that. Maybe it's this point in my life. I mean, I kind of never been that kind of gamer. It's not the games I grew up with. It's not the games that I really enjoy. I'm not into those. So if this game has that moment, or I hear about it, or I see it, I'll be like, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, right now, my interest is actually quite high, to the point that I would try this game out just because of all of its ideas, okay? Or even borrowed ideas. But the second, and I'm saying even before this game comes out, the second that I see that there is something that just massively stops you in your track, which happens to 99 out of 100, it can, by the way, not happen. There are a handful of games that have really figured out that you just make an amazing game, you have ways you can pay, and people will do that, you will make money, and you'll deliver a really good game, okay? But 9 times out of 10, the games are just not capable of doing that. They don't trust themselves to make a really good game. Instead, they'd rather say, well, here's 25% of a good game. To get the other 75, you got to buy. Whereas I think, again, the best games that can do this, they just are really elite games that are just really fun, really addicting, and they just have ways that are as non-predatory as humanly possible, and people are cool with it. So those are the kind of games that I would support. If it turns out to be one of the 99%, then I'm out. So we'll see what happens with the game, but it's definitely on my radar now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.